This was hands down one of the smoothest airport immigration experiences I've ever had. The most breathtaking fireworks show I've ever seen, and an up-close look at a city that feels like it was built for luxury. But something felt off. Throughout my entire trip, I barely saw any Qataris working. Instead, I saw them driving luxury cars and dining in high-end restaurants in the middle of the day. And here is something even more surprising. Qatari men can only marry Qatari women, but Qatari women can marry whoever they want to. So what's really going on here? What I found completely changed how I see this country. By the end of this video, you will not only know what it's like to experience Qatar as a first timer, but I'll take you beyond the tourist spots, showing you hidden gems, must-know travel tips, and a side of Qatar that most people never see. And trust me, what I found will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about this place. My journey started in Lagos, Nigeria, where I flew EgyptAir to Doha. Stepping off the plane, I braced myself for the usual airport stress, but Qatar surprised me, and this was different. The immigration officer was incredibly kind, smiling as she stamped my passport. She even asked if it was my first time in Qatar. No stress, no unnecessary questioning, was just smooth and efficient service. And here is what really shocked me. I was free to take videos in the airport without anyone stopping me. If you've ever had security tell you to put your camera away, you know how rare this is. After breezing through immigration, we met with our driver and headed straight to our hotel, Royal Riviera, a 4-star hotel with really nice city views. I was so tired that by the time we checked in, I was already settling in before I could even remember to film the room. In the morning, after a quick breakfast, I thought I could finally rest, but nope. My friend dragged me out to exchange some USD to Qatari Riyals. And for reference, $1 is equal to 3.6 Qatari Riyals. Once that was sorted, we had the rest of the day to sleep, rest, or just chill before heading out to the big event, the New Year's Eve fireworks at Lusail Boulevard. But as a traveler, I couldn't sit in the hotel all day. I took a stroll around the neighborhood to get a feel of my new home for the next few days. Doha is so clean, well organized, and super quiet during the day, and of course at night. Now, let me give you some backstory. In 2022, I started a personal tradition, celebrating New Year's Eve in a new country or a new place every year. So far, I have done it in Accra, Ghana, and Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. And for this year, Qatar was my chosen destination. At around 9 p.m, we left for Lusail, but first, we stopped at a Nigerian restaurant to grab some familiar food. The traffic was so insane, so we had to get out and walk to our viewing spot. And let me tell you, I was not prepared for the cold. I wore a short dress assuming Qatar would be hot, but it turns out they have winter too. Everyone was staring at me, probably wondering why I wasn't bundled up like them. But hey, I was too focused on the fireworks to care. And wow, these fireworks, hands down the most breathtaking display I have ever seen since I started this tradition. Just look at this. Happy New Year! Welcome to 2025. After I had experienced the best fireworks show of my life so far, I returned to the hotel to get some rest for tomorrow's movement, which is Doha City Tour. While in my bed, I wanted to learn more about Qatar's history, so I did some research. I was so fascinated by what I saw that I had to dig deep into Qatar's history. And let me tell you, what I found was mind-blowing. But instead of diving into all the details again, I already made a full video breaking down Qatar's history. The economy thrived in pearl diving. Doha was already growing into a major trading hub, but from how they went from a fishing village to one of the richest countries in the world. So if you are curious, check it out here. I have also linked it in my description so you can check it out. One thing that really stood out for me was that Qataris actually didn't start making crazy money from oil at first. Their real wealth started booming in the 1970s, and even today, most locals don't work in regular jobs. hence why I barely saw any Qataris doing service job. Many work in government, education, and the oil and natural gas industries. Another interesting thing I learned is that Qatari men are only allowed to marry Qatari women, while Qatari women can marry men from other nationalities. This really made me think about how traditions and social structures shape everyday life here. Learning all this made me see Qatar in a totally different way, and as I continued exploring, things started making even more sense. We kicked off our city tour.
Nobody told us that Qatar is this cold. I mean, it's winter. I never even knew that winter existed in Qatar. Because no snow. But right now, I'm going back to the room to get my sweater. It's just cold. Very cold. Very crazy.
And our first stop was the Flag Plaza, where I found the Nigerian flag proudly waving amongst dozens of others. Then we explored Mina district, checked out the fish markets, and admired the pastel-colored buildings that looked straight out of a painting. From there, we headed to Katara Cultural Village, where I discovered something fascinating: the Katara Museum of Traditional Dhows. It's a place dedicated to preserving Qatar's seafaring heritage, while showcasing the different boats used in the past and their significance in the Gulf history. We made a quick stop at the Pearl, a luxurious artificial island, before ending the day at the Villaggio Mall, where we rode a gondola inside the mall. It's like a mini Venice, but indoors. Villaggio Mall in Doha, Qatar is an Italian-themed shopping mall designed to resemble Venice. It features everything you would see on a gondola ride on the canals of Venice, which includes an indoor canal with gondolas, a sky-like ceiling, and luxury stores with colorful and beautiful architectures around. Venice, Italy is a historic city known for its canals, unique architecture, and a cultural heritage. We took a gondola ride, and for a bit, it felt like I was in Venice, Italy, because of the colorful buildings surrounding the artificial canal. I also did some window shopping in some of the high-end shops because why not? Our day started off at the Qatar National Museum, where we explored the stunning exterior but decided to skip the paid exhibits inside. Later in the day, we did something completely different: a desert safari.
Not here, it will not be fine.
Desert vibe. Really prepare for this.
YouTube. Amio.
YouTube, Namio.
You know, I joined your video finish. I realized it was front camera.
The most finest person here. We do our things differently.
Guys,
I'm not here, it's not working.
He bought his scarf in Kano.
If you've never done dune bashing before, just imagine a roller coaster but in a 4x4 car. The adrenaline rush was insane. After that, we rode camels into the sunset and even got a hold of a falcon. And fun fact is, falcons are a huge part of Qatari culture. We ended the whole adventure by warming up with a very hot tea as the weather started getting really cold. Now, I packed swimsuits, thinking I'll take a dip in the water since the desert has an inland sea, but surprise, surprise, I didn't get to swim at all. The weather was too cold for me that all my beach plans went out the window. Even swimming in the hotel also followed through the window. Lesson learned, and this is my advice for you. Always check the season before assuming a desert country is hot all year round. Honestly, the night before, I kept wondering why we were only exploring Doha. Why not venture up north? So, driven by curiosity, we decided to check out northern Qatar, and let me tell you, it was like stepping into an entirely different world. Vast, empty, almost like an abandoned stretch of land. It really made me start to wonder about how Qatar functions outside the bustling city. If you're curious to see more of what northern Qatar looks like, definitely check out the full video on this YouTube channel. And trust me, you won't want to miss it. We decided to ditch the tourist experience and explore like a local. We took the metro, which only cost 6 Qatar riyals for a day pass, and we headed to Souq Waqif. It's the go place for everything, from spices and souvenirs to pet shops and traditional outfits. Arabic bread, okay. I even stopped by a warehouse cafe where you can sip coffee while admiring vintage cars. It is called Ma Water. Such a cool concept. We also hopped on the tram, which is free of charge, to get to downtown Doha, where the Qataris were hanging out in high-end restaurants and driving around in luxurious cars. It felt like that place was specially built and designed for the Qataris. That neighborhood was rich and looked wealthy. That evening, we wrapped up the trip with a sunset Dihal cruise on the Persian Gulf. The skyline views were magical, and sipping hot tea while cruising was the perfect way to end the adventure. By this time, I was battling a nasty flu, but I powered through. Before leaving, I made a quick stop at a pharmacy for meds and, of course, grabbed an abaya from Souq Waqif as a souvenir for myself, of course. Qatar surprised me in so many ways. The kindness of the people, the stunning architecture, and just how seamlessly modern and traditional life blend together. If you've ever thought about visiting, let this be your sign to book that ticket. If you enjoyed this vlog, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because I've got more adventures coming up. And if you want to see my exploration of northern Qatar, remember to check out this video right on the screen. See you in the next one.